Day 2 of OTAs for the New York Giants is officially in the books. And on today's show, we're going to break down everything that happened. We'll go over the highlights, the lowlights, the big plays, the interceptions, and everything you need to know coming out of session number 2 as you're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. And I am your host, Marshall Green. The Giants do have a couple more OTAs coming up. They'll practice on the 23rd, Thursday of this week. That's officially when the media is allowed to be in attendance. They'll then take a break. May 28th, 29th, they'll practice. Then the 31st. Then they're back at it on June 3rd and 4th, 6th and 7th. Then a little bit of a break, and they'll wrap it up with 3 practices on the 11th, 12th, and 13th. One note that I do want to talk about that came out from day 1 that I did not be able to share with y'all from our day 1 breakdown is reportedly Evan Neal was moving well as he continues to battle back from ankle surgery that he underwent this offseason. And that is great news for the New York Giants as well as the ball player, Neal. You want him to be healthy. We know the potential he has. We know he hasn't lived up to the hype. But I want to see him healthy, go through a full offseason, be coached up by Carmen Priscillo, and give himself the best opportunity to be successful this year as a starting right tackle for the New York Giants. It's now or never for Neal. If he does not play at an adequate enough level this year, I don't think it will be a long leash for him. I could see the Giants after 3 weeks if he struggles, bouncing Illuminor out to right tackle, benching Neal, sliding running to right guard, and playing Stinney at left guard. Maybe you move Azudu to left guard. Azudu has actually gotten some reps at left tackle at OTAs, so that dream is not over for the New York Giants. But you know what? One of the fastest ways for the Giants to be great this year is for Evan Neal to be great. If Evan Neal lives up to the potential of being a top 7 pick, this offensive line is going to be pretty good. Can he do it? I'm hoping so. I just don't really have anything to lean on and believe that he will, outside of the fact that he was the best O-lineman in the country at Alabama. What's your confidence level in Evan Neal? Scale it 1 to 10 for me down in the comment section. On day 1, the majority of teamwork for the Giants was done in the red zone. That means 7-on-7 and 11-on-11. Day 2, once again, the team portions of practice in 11-on-11s and 7-on-7 was done in the red zone again today, and I love this for the Giants. We showed this graphic yesterday, but I'm going to continue to bring it up because I believe if the Giants are going to be good this year, they got to do the little things right, and they need to take care of the football. They need to score in the red zone, and they got to play complementary football. That's how they won games in 2022. That was the recipe for success. And one of the reasons they were able to be successful was because how well they operated in the red zone. 64.8% of the red zone trips in 2022 resulted in touchdowns. 5th best in the NFL. Dropped to 29.4% this year, 30th in the NFL. The Giants need to get 6 when they're inside the red zone, or they're going to be in a lot of trouble again this year. Let's talk about the highlights, though, of the practice. Malik Nabers continues to shine for the New York Giants, and it is obvious how special of a player he is going to be already. Tommy DeVito hit Malik Nabers in a scramble drill for 6 and 11-on-11 drills in the backside of the end zone. And then Daniel Jones hit Nabers short of the goal line where he turned the corner and he turned it up. Some people are saying it's a touchdown. Some people are saying it's not a touchdown. Contact obviously not allowed. Nabers just kind of ran out of bounds at the 5-yard line. But I believe if there was helmet and shoulder pads on, Nabers would have ran through that goal line and put up 6 on the board for the Giants. He is going to be special. He gives you a wide receiver 1. You haven't had that type of talent on the outside since Odell Beckham wore a New York Giants jersey. Nabers is special. And we got that cool photo of him and Daniel Jones dapping it up. Probably let him know, yo, Malik, my name is Daniel Jones, not Daniel Jones. I think the whole thing's overblown. I think he's happy he's a Giant. Why wouldn't he be? It's arguably a top 5 organization in this league, or at least that's what they used to be, and they're going to try to continue to get back there. Another thing is, yes, Daniel Jones is practicing. He's playing in 7-on-7s, but there's been a lot of work for Drew Lock, and there's been a lot of work as well for Tommy DeVito, excuse me. And Drew Lock reportedly looked good in day 1 as well as looked good in day 2. Dan Salamone of Giants.com wrote this up, saying Drew Lock threw a handful of touchdowns during team periods, including a pair to rookie running back Tyrone Tracy. He threw 2 more to wide receiver Miles Boykin on back-to-back plays and 1 apiece to Gunnar Olszewski and tight end Tyree Jackson after looking off a defender. A lot to take away from that quote is, but for me, that says that he's working with the second team. If you're working with Tracy, third team as well, John Jiles and Tyree Jackson, and you're not throwing to Daniel Bellinger, Malik Nabers, or Hyatt, or not Slayton. Slayton's not there from what I have heard. And Nabers, you're probably working with the second group. But it's looking good. That's an encouraging sign. And it is officially a camp competition between Drew Lock and Tommy DeVito. Both those players will be competing for the second QB spot on this team. I believe Lock has already had that wrapped up. But DeVito, not just competing for Lock, he's competing for a spot on this roster. Just a fact of the matter. Most teams keep 2 QBs. You've already invested in Jones. You invested $5 million in Lock. You do have some spot starts from Tommy DeVito where he played well. But most teams don't keep 3 QBs on their 53-man roster. DeVito also found Jalen Hyatt for a touchdown. We talked about at the top of the show how he hit Malik Nabers and a scramble drill back of the end zone. He also found Jalen Hyatt for 6. DeVito's competing for a roster spot. It just is what it is. Could the Giants keep 3 quarterbacks? Yeah, I actually think they should, considering the injury history to Daniel Jones, as well as the injury guarantee that he has on his roster. And if you cut DeVito, you're probably praying and hoping you get him back on the practice squad. But I just don't see 31 other teams thinking their backup quarterback is better than Tommy DeVito. Could be wrong, but I think if the Giants cut DeVito, his time as a Giant is going to be over. He's going to go look for work elsewhere where he can make a long-term name for himself in this league. We got more news, notes, and highlights to talk about from day 2 of Giants OTAs. But if you want to rep a Brian Burns jersey for week 1 of the 2024 NFL season, go to this link, chatsports.com/Burns. That's chatsports.com/Burns. Get your jersey today, so it'll be here by week 1. Jalen Mills had the lone interception at OTA day 2. It was a tip drill. Ball popped in the air. Not sure what quarterback threw it. Giants.com does not let us know. But Mills came up with an interception. And you know what? That's kind of the player that he's been in this league. He's a timely player, right spot, right guy, right spot, right time kind of player. He brings some experience to a young safety group headlined by Pennick, Belton, and Tyler Newbert and Javarius Owens. All 4 of these guys are young players that have not reached their peak. The best days for Mills are probably behind him, but I do like the wisdom, experience, and professionalism that he's going to bring to this ball club, and it's nice to see him making plays in practice. Second-year corner, Deonte Banks, former first-round pick, he got involved in on the action as well. He had a pass breakup in the end zone, and I'm expecting a big year 2 for Deonte Banks. Not to say he didn't have a great year 1, but he was a rookie. Had some ups, had some downs. I'm expecting him to kind of assert himself as one of the top corners in this league, be looked at as a lockdown guy, and a guy that the Giants can continue to count on to travel from sideline to sideline to cover the number 1 wide receiver for opposing teams for hopefully the next 10 years. But the question marks are, where are the Giants going to get production at the rest of this corner depth chart? And it was nice to see that Tre Hawkins had a good day at practice today. He had a PBU in the end zone as well. He was an offseason winner last year, really struggled in weeks 1 and 2 against the Cardinals and the Cowboys. He got benched, never really found his groove after that, but I'm hoping the second-year player out of Old Dominion can really start to find a groove again. We saw it last year. I don't know if it was because he was holding a lot in practice and the refs don't call it like that. He got flagged quite a bit in the regular season. I still have hope for Hawkins, but you just got to go out and do it. Tyrone Tracy, we talked about earlier, got involved in the passing game. And I think this is an under-talked-about storyline for this team right now. We all know Tracy, 5th-round back, selected out of Purdue, going to be 25 his rookie year. Don't love that, but I love the versatility and just the dynamics of his game. He started out as a wide receiver. He's going to be able to contribute out of the backfield as a pass catcher, swing routes, arrow routes, Texas routes, even a wheel route. We've seen Saquon Barkley do that for this team. And he can even motion him out wide and play a little receiver as well. I like the flexibility and diversity that he's bringing this running back room. Giants don't really have anybody else at that position that could do what he can do on passing downs. Bobby Okereke and Ryder Anderson also combined for a sack in team drills. That's good. Good for Ryder Anderson. Going to try to make this team yet again. I want to see Okereke blitz a little bit more this year and just be more active. He was so good. I just want to see more. I want to see more Bobby Okereke. And he's a playmaker. That's what I'm expecting. John Schmeelk of Giants.com wrote this up about day 2 at OTA, saying practices at OTAs end with a development period for the young players. And Rourke, the quarterback they signed a couple of weeks ago, made the most of it. He hit John Jiles near the front pylon, who made an amazing grab for a TD. 2 plays later, he connected with wide receiver Chase Cota for a touchdown. A lot of people have asked me about Rourke, the CFL MVP. I think he's just a practice body for the Giants this offseason. Giants are not keeping 4 QBs. They may not even keep 3. And Daniel Jones, Drew Lock, and Tommy DeVito are all ahead of him. Talented player, really cool story. He's just fighting an extremely high uphill battle. John Jiles, on the other hand, kind of a ball player, man. He had a really good college career at West Florida, most notably last year, 54 grabs, over 1,000 yards, 13 TDs. He's prototypically built like you want a receiver to be built like, making an amazing catch at practice. And he's trying to make this roster through a crowded wide receiver depth chart. You know that Nabers, Slayton, Hyatt, and Wan'Dale Robinson are all locks. That's 4 players. After that, I think there's 2 open spots. And I believe Gunnar Olszewski is going to be one of those guys for his ability and really skill set of being a punt returner. I think Joe Shane understands now, after being twice burned in both seasons as a general manager by not having a punt returner, losing the football. 2 fumbles from Richie James, a fumble from Eric Gray, a fumble from Sterling Shepard. That's 4 turnovers in 2 years just by not having a punt returner. I expect them to keep Olszewski, which means there's really only 1 spot left. Isaiah Hodgins, Allen Robinson, John Jiles, Bryce Ford-Wheaton, Cota, McKenzie, Houston, Boykin. It is going to be an all-out brawl and a competition. See who gets that final spot, and really the final 2 spots if they don't pencil in or write in ink Olszewski making this team. All I know is these OTAs have me pumped up for football. It's right around the corner. If you're ready for Giants football, hit that thumbs up icon for me, and let's go Big Blue.